Okay, fellas, in South Africa, something interesting is happening. Well, the South African people want a German company to close its operation in South Africa because that German company is unaliving people. We're going to find out just now. In Nigeria, they're opening the borders. They want South Africans to come and visit and many other people. They believe South Africans don't travel, and that's the reason why they are xenophobic. We're going to find out about that. In Cameroon, something really shocking is happening in Cameroon. You want to know the story. Okay, let's go. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. I just want to say thank you so much for all the guys that have subscribed to our private group. I appreciate you. It's my pleasure to have you. We're going to be sharing special videos, deeper insights, and also everyday things that you see in many African nations. So we're going to be on the ground showing you exactly how things function in Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Nigeria. Okay, we're still thinking about Nigeria. I'm just kidding. In Nigeria and all over the place. And you know you want to be part of that. Okay, we are going to South Africa. Here's a map. Okay, so South Africa, beautiful country, lovely people. Well, in South Africa, people have come down the street very angry in Pretoria against Rheinmetall. What is Rheinmetall? Rheinmetall is a weapon manufacturer company. So they build weapons, arms, bombs, rockets, and all that stuff. Rheinmetall is a German company with a base in South Africa. Why do they have a base in South Africa? Because in South Africa, you can hire people at a much lesser price than you could hire German people. Now, why are the South Africans angry at this company? Because this Rheinmetall company have been shipping artillery to the country that you don't name. You know that country, you don't name it, in the Middle East, and to the Ukrainians. And South Africans, at least black people of South Africa, for the most part, do not agree with those two countries at all. Why doesn't South Africa agree with the country you don't name? Well, because during apartheid, the other people, not the country you don't name, the other people they're fighting with, used to support South Africa. They supported each other. And Nelson Mandela used to be a very good friend to Yasser Arafat. And he promised that South Africa cannot be a free country if that other country is not free. Therefore, having a German company based in South Africa, sending weapons to a country that, for them, persecuting another country that they support is unacceptable. So why isn't South Africa okay with Ukraine? Well, South Africa doesn't want this company to send stuff to Ukraine because South Africa is a friend of Russia. It's like you cannot enable the enemy of your friend to have weapons to stab your friends. It makes no sense. So South Africa said this company must live by the rules. The rules of South Africa is, South Africa said it was internationally neutral with regard to the war in Ukraine. Therefore, every company that's operating from South Africa should not be involved in any sort of wars. Teto Mashaba said, we demanded the President Cyril Ramaphosa at the very least to check the activity of the Rheinmetall plant for compliance with South Africa's official policy of not intervening in international conflict or supplying arms to third countries. So this company is based in South Africa. Why? Because South Africans can work at a very cheap price. It's the same thing they've done with Mercedes. Mercedes plant is in Eastern Cape, in South Africa. The Mercedes plant producing C-Class Mercedeses for Europe and the world. Just imagine, instead of producing these cars in Germany, they produce them in South Africa because labor is cheaper. Okay? And no respect. Now, the same thing they want to do with weapons, and these weapons are being sent to countries that are fighting friends of South Africa. So who owns Rheinmetall? BlackRock, a financial corporation, or the majority of shares in Rheinmetall. Have you ever heard of BlackRock? This is BlackRock. They own almost everything. You need to do your research about it. Is South Africa right to say this company should stop its operation because it's helping persecute the people that they deem friends? Is that a way of them showing that they are loyal to the people that were loyal to them during hardships? Let me know how you feel about this. And now we're going to Nigeria. Okay, fellas, Nigeria, here's a map. Okay, in Nigeria, they have a brand new system for visas. They want to make it easy for you to come visit Nigeria. This is an automated electronic visa application process, promising approval within 24 to 48 hours. So no more going to the embassy, speaking to an Oga or a chairperson, saying, oh, Oga, I want to come to Lagos. Can I get a visa? You can just apply online and go to Nigeria. And this many Nigerians feel that South Africans need to apply and come to Nigeria. So they stop being xenophobic. Since Nigerians feel like many South Africans are xenophobic because they never travel, they don't own passports. They say people that own passports in South Africa are only white and some blacks, and those ones are not xenophobic. I don't know how South Africans feel about that, but that's what's being said. They say this is ready. The initiative aims to eliminate long wait times at Nigerian airports and address issues caused by intermediaries who assist travelers in navigating bureaucratic processes. Once approved, electronic visa will be sent directly to applicants via email, removing the need for a physical visa sticker upon arrival. In Africa, usually when you go to airport, you will find people that are trying to help you do something. Like, do you want to weigh your bag? If you're not careful, they're going to try to help you weigh your bag. And you don't know what they're going to put in your bag. Don't stay away from those people. Somebody's going to try to help you. Do you want a taxi? Let me find a taxi for you. I'm sorry. In many African countries, you find that stuff. So the Nigerian government feel they want to combat some of those stuff and make things easy. No need for intermediaries. Nobody in between. Make things easy. Now, many people are asking questions like, why are they going to go to Nigeria? The proposed visa policy aims to enhance the ease of doing business, host tourism, and strengthen bilateral and relations with other countries, replacing visa on arrival. Now, the people and the civilians are asking questions. We can understand about politicians and country representatives trying to go to Nigeria. Now, why would other people want to go to Nigeria in terms of tourism? What's there in Nigeria for people to come visit? Because it feels like Nigerians are trying to run away from Nigeria. Just a question mark. Well, I know in Nigeria there's National Museum in Lagos. You can go visit National Museum, or you can visit Olumo Rock. You can perhaps visit the slave trade route in Badagry, or you can visit the Aso Rock. But then the question arises. There's worries here. People are worried because Nigeria is not the safest country in Africa. Why? There are many situations to be worried about. Like the police being very angry. The police is not very policing in Nigeria. The Nigerian-born UK diplomat, Kemi, said Nigerian police is dangerous.
The police in Nigeria would rob us. So when people say, I had this bad experience with the police because I'm black and they're white, I was like, well, I remember the police stole my brother's shoes and his watch.
His shoes?
Yeah, they took his shoes and his watch. It's a very poor country. So, people do all sorts of things, and giving people a gun is just a license to intimidate. But that's not the bar we should use for British police. Obviously, it should be much higher. But my experience was so positive. When I was burgled, for example, the police were there, very helpful. They eventually caught the person. This is 2004. So 20 years ago, the police did catch criminals. And now we've given them too much to do, in my view. So the police are the first line of defense.
If she can say that, she's a Nigerian by birth. I mean, what would other people say? Well, in Nigeria, you have abductions as well. Yes, my brother, you're going to get abducted in Nigeria. These are things that happen every single day. And some of the people in Nigeria, especially visitors, have to travel with soldiers in the car with weapons for their protection. There are many types of abductions in Nigeria. They are kidnapping by ransom, so they will kidnap you and ask for money from your family, take you to a bush until your family pays. If your family don't pay, they will unalive you. Or there's abduction by militants, Boko Haram and stuff. Don't tell me in some areas, in many areas, okay? The north, the center. Yeah, it's a real problem. Criminal gangs, also referred to as bandits, are involved in abduction over targeting school children, religious leaders, and travelers. Okay, so it's very difficult. Why would a traveler? School abduction, particularly alarming trend in recent years in abduction of students. In many cases, groups of armed assailants raid schools, particularly in northern region. I think there's a major problem to be resolved first, before Nigeria opens its doors and makes visa easy for everybody, especially South Africans, because they say they don't travel. I think there are things that need to be resolved first. Like, people don't want to come to your country, then having to hire a police, van to drive behind them everywhere they go. I think Nigeria could focus on buying more ambulances, for instance. There's one ambulance for 243,000 Nigerians. Nigeria could focus on redistributing the wealth equally to people. But Nigeria is nice. You can see Davido, you can see Whiskey, then go to concerts. Let's go to Cameroon.